What's up, Scout Army? This is Fuego Steve bringing you another edition of the Fuego Pit. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the chalk from this past weekend, who I think is going to be popular this coming week 4 in the NFL. And we'll go over some of the matchups or all the matchups and give you my early look on what my thoughts are on the week. So last week, what we predicted was chalk. Ty Montgomery on FanDuel, 32%. Also on FanDuel, Le'Veon Bell, 29. Kareem Hunt, 29. AJ Green, 28%. Antonio Brown, 24%. And Zach Ertz, 21%. Most of them were pretty predictable. In fact, all of them were. And on DK, when you had one of the big busts, Rashad Higgins, 22%. I only played him in maybe one lineup, thank goodness. Eagles defense were popular, 21%, a little more popular than I expected. Devontae Adams came in at 20%. He was pretty cheap. Jay Ajayi, who I liked, who busted, 19%. And Jack Doyle, as predicted, came in high at 19%. Check back with me later in the week, who I think is going to be the chalk for this week, but some early looks. Based on playing on Monday night, Dak Prescott's probably going to be popular because of his price. Brady should be popular again. I think Travis Taylor at his price might be popular. Running backs, we got Zeke, who's probably going to be popular after a good showing on Monday. Leonard Fournette. Lamar Miller at only 4,500 on DraftKings could be popular. I think Stephon Diggs is going to be popular after his big game. Another Cowboy, Des Bryant maybe, because he's a pretty decent price. Brandon Cooks. I think the people will be back on that train. Also from New England, I think Gronk will be popular. Zach Ertz should remain chalky. And Eric Ebron's pretty cheap, especially on DraftKings. To the games in week 4. We have the Chicago Bears on Thursday night going to the Green Bay Packers if you're playing the Thursday through Monday slate. Oh, quick note, I think DraftKings has gotten rid of the Sunday night game for the main slate. So, keep that in mind. But if you're playing that Monday or Thursday through Monday, or you're playing the Thursday to early Sunday, we have another London game. Green Bay's favored by 7, 45.5 over under. I think, definitely on the Green Bay side, guys are in play, including the defense, but I think pretty much everyone, Rodgers, Montgomery, Jordy, Devontae, Martellus Bennett's even in play. And on the Chicago side, maybe, Tariq Cohen's a better price on FanDuel than he is. He's more expensive than Jordan Howard on Chicago, who probably wouldn't mind Howard again, and maybe Zach Miller at tight end. The Sunday morning in London game is the Saints and the Vikings. Saints are favored by 3, over under 49.5. In that Sunday early slate, most everyone's in play for the Saints for me. Willie Snead's coming back. You got Michael Thomas, Drew Brees, Kobe Fleener. They're all in play on that slate. On the Miami side, I'm staying away from Jay Ajayi this week. We're not sure what's going on with that injury. Let us down this week, so I think I'd be more apt to play some of the receivers like Devontae Parker, Jarvis Landry against that Saints defense. The first game on the main slate we're going to talk about is Carolina versus New England. The Patriots are favored by 9, it looks like, right now. They have a 48 or 48.5 total. I'm not really on anyone on the Panther side. On New England, I think every week they're all going to be in play. I mean, this is the Patriots. So, Hogan, Cooks, Gronk. Defense is in play, possibly against the Panthers. Obviously, Brady. So I think going forward, unless they're priced out the roof, they're always going to be in play. We have the Rams traveling to the Cowboys. Cowboys favored by 7.5, over under of 46. Maybe I'd play Gurley on the Rams side, but besides him, I'm not sure I'm going to go back to any of the guys, even though they had a really good game last week. And on the Cowboy side, everyone we saw do well when Monday is in play, and especially Dez at 6,500 on DK, but Prescott, Zeke, they're both in play. We have the Detroit Lions traveling to the Minnesota Vikings. Once again, this game's off the board because we don't know about Bradford. But I think Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen proves that they don't need Bradford to be good, as they had good games this week. Diggs, again, had a monster game at super low ownership. So they're in play. I think Dalvin Cook's in play. I think Kyle Rudolph's in play from Minnesota. Detroit, maybe Stafford, maybe Golden Tate, Ebron, a cheap price. I'm not really on any of the running game for Detroit. These are my early thoughts on the week. Things could change. Check back for my later week pod and for my article. And, of course, hit me up on the forums on Scout Fantasy. We have the Tennessee Titans traveling to the Houston Texans. Tennessee's favored by 1. It's over under 44. This game could get overlooked a little. I think there's definitely some plays. If you don't, I think Lamar Miller's pretty cheap. DeAndre Hopkins, the stars there in Houston, they don't have many of those two. I think they're in play, but you could also play the Tennessee defense as well. But I think the whole offense on the Titans side is in play. Maybe Mariota. And maybe Walker, but I like Rashard Matthews again. Still only 4,900 on DraftKings. The next game is the Jaguars at the Jets. The over-under is only 40 with a 3.5 point favorite for the Jaguars. I think I'm staying away from this game. I don't really have any interest. Jaguars played well in London, but they always seem to play well in London, and the Ravens laid an egg. You could go to some of the Jaguars guys, I guess, but at this point, I don't think I am. And no one on the Jets that I'm going to be rostering. We have the Cincinnati Bengals heading to the Cleveland Browns. Over under 40. Cincinnati's favored by 3. What I'm really looking at, maybe Kaiser if you're looking to pay down. I mean, he's had 2 of his 3 games have been okay, so maybe I could go there. AJ Green was chalk, and he did well. So maybe you could go to AJ Green again. And I'm not thrilled with this game as well. It's like one of the 40 is the same as Jaguars Jets games, the lowest on the board for the week. I try to go to the games that have the higher scoring implied totals and over-unders. But that's one thing. Make sure you look at those over-unders with a grain of salt. There could be a game that can have a high over-under, but one team's favored by a lot. So you don't want to really necessarily target the other team. You want to target the team that is projected to score more points. If there's a big line, so keep that in mind. It's not always the over-under. Especially, I always say that for baseball. People at baseball are always looking at the totals, or the implied run totals. We need to look at the individual team totals. Next game, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to the Baltimore Ravens. This game's usually a close match. They're usually low scoring. The over-under is 42.5. Pittsburgh's favored by 3. I like Lev Bell. I will always say, he's in play. Even against the Ravens defense, I think he's in play. I'm not on Ben on the road. You could always play Brown. I'm never going to tell you not to play him either. I've yet to roster him this year, which is probably a mistake, especially in week 1. But they're in play, Bell and Brown. But no one else really entices me on the Steelers offense. And the Ravens, I don't think I'm on anybody. They looked really bad this past week. even the first two games, they looked okay, but their defense was playing really well. Plus, they played the Browns and the Bengals, so no real interest on the Baltimore side. If they said one of the running backs was going to be out, if Terrence West was going to be out, maybe Buck Allen, but you could maybe go Jeremy Maclin. We got the Buffalo Bills traveling to the Atlanta Falcons. This game intrigues me. It's a 48 over-under. It's one of the higher ones on the day. We have Atlanta favored by 8. Well, here's what I was talking about. So they're probably predicting them to win 28-20 is probably what the projected score is. So Atlanta's supposed to score 4 touchdowns, with Buffalo only getting 2 and 2 field goals. So, but I do think some of the Buffalo Bills are in play. I think, like I said, Travis Taylor's cheap. I think Jordan Matthews still cheap. You could probably play him. LaShawn McCoy, he was one of my plays of the week this past week. And he had a good game. I think he had 10, 12 DraftKings points, but they took him out on a goal line play. If he gets in the end zone, he definitely would have been worth the play at only 2% ownership. But I probably would play him again here in this matchup. You could probably play Charles Clay at tight end. On the Atlanta side, I'm kind of off Matt Ryan for now. I still think they're really trying to run the ball with Freeman and Coleman, who are both in play for me. But I'm not sure I'm going to Ryan or Julio this week. Need to see him do a little bit more. We have the New York Giants going to the Tampa Bay Bucks. I like the Bucks side of this game. The over-under is 44. The Bucks are favored by 3, so expect it to be close. Don't expect it to be too high scoring, but I think it might go a little bit. I think it might go over, actually. I like Winston. I like Evans. I like Deshaun again. Got in the end zone this week. And, if you're running back on the other side, you could run Beckham. He's really the only Giants offensive player I'd be looking at. Tampa Bay defense probably would be in play. Philadelphia Eagles travel to the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers are favored by 1, over under 47, so Vegas expects this to be relatively high scoring, at least for the week. Our biggest one is only 48.5. We have no 50s this week, so that's interesting. That Carolina, New England at 48.5 was the biggest one, with New England favored by 9, so New England's the one they're expecting to score most of the points. So 47 is a decent total for the week. I probably would play players from either side, except for Wentz. His price is really up in there now. I'm not sure I'm going to go to Wentz, but I could go to Alshon Jeffrey or Zach Ertz. And on the Charger side, Melvin Gordon, assuming he's fully ready to go. Keenan Allen. Maybe even the Chargers defense, they're cheap. But I'm not sure yet on that, so check back with me later in the week. We have the San Francisco 49ers traveling to the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals favored by 7. The over-under is 44.5. I'm not liking too much from this game. Maybe Carlos Hyde on the San Francisco side. Maybe Fitzgerald on the Arizona side. I still, the Cardinals played okay on Monday, but I'm still not sold. San Francisco put up a lot of points against LA last week, but I'm still not sold. So at this point, I do not think I'm targeting this game. We have the Oakland Raiders traveling to the Denver Broncos. 47 of the over-under, and the Broncos favored by 3, so this is one of the higher ones as well. Denver at home, that's tough to play against, so I'm not sure I'd be targeting any Raiders at this point. Maybe some of the wide receivers on the Broncos side, maybe C.J. Anderson, or, like I said, the wide receivers, Demaryius Thomas and Sanders. But I'm not... Excuse me, I'm about to sneeze. Oh, if that sounds a little choppy, it's because I had a little sneezing attack. I had to pause it there. So where were we? We finished up that Oakland-Denver game. Simeon, still kind of need to see it as well. I know he's off to a decent start, but, and definitely he's probably more in play at home than he is on the road. Indianapolis Colts in the Sunday night game, which again is not on the DK main slate. go to the Seattle Seahawks. Colts go to the Seahawks. Seahawks favored by 13. It's a 41.5 over and under. I could see going back to Jack Doyle and back to T.Y. Hilton, who we predicted would have a good game this week. I didn't play him enough, unfortunately. But on the Seattle side, well, Russell Wilson had a good game this week against the Titans. If you think he's back, he's definitely in play. Carson, running back. Baldwin at receiver. I think they're in play versus the Colts at home. And then if you're playing the Monday night game, you got the Redskins going to the Chiefs. This is a juicy game if you're in the the primetime slate as well. You know, if you're in the primetime slate, you got Indianapolis and Seattle. Maybe people in Seattle, but this Monday night, Redskins at the Chiefs. Chiefs favored by 7. Over-under is 49.5. This is the closest we have to 50 on the week. Everyone on Kansas City's in play. Kareem Hunt's off to an amazing start. Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. On the Redskins side, maybe Cousins again. Maybe Chris Thompson again. But I'm probably going to be playing that Chiefs side, to be honest with you, in that mini slate. But it's actually not a bad game if you're playing the Thursday, Monday slate to have Chiefs going on Monday night. It's not a bad play. So that's about it for the games. I guess what I'm going to be targeting, another attack. I'm probably going to be targeting maybe some New England guys, maybe some Titans, Buffalo-Atlanta game, Eagles-Chargers game. At least that's my initial look early in the week. I could give you a quick look at some players, that I like. Like I said, I like Tyrod Taylor's price at quarterback. I like Dak Prescott. You could play Mariota. Brady's in play. Winston. Those are some early in the week looks. At least on DraftKings, Russell Wilson, on FanDuel. And let's see here. Running back, I liked Elliott. You can go back to Ty Montgomery, LaShawn McCoy. I didn't mention Christian McCaffrey. He's probably in play versus New England, especially if they're going to be throwing the ball. Joe Mixon's probably in play versus Cleveland. I don't think I mentioned him. Kareem Hunt, Bell. I like the Leonard Fournette. I think he's in play. Jacksonville going to the Jets. Wide receiver. The Miami receiver is definitely in play. Devontae Parker, Kenny Stills against New Orleans. Michael Thomas is in play. Let's see. The Chargers guys, Travis Benjamin, Keenan Allen, and Ty Williams, assuming he's good to go. I kind of like DeAndre Hopkins a little bit. Dez Bryant, Tyreek Hill, if you're on that other slate. Minnesota guys. Tight end, you could go back to Rudolph. Again, he's still pretty cheap on both sites. Travis Kelce. Charles Clay, I mentioned. Zach Ertz. Witten's probably in play again. He had a bad game this week, so he's always up and down. Delaney Walker's in play. Ebron, I mentioned. And defenses, I didn't go over too many defenses. The Bengals are in play at Cleveland for sure. They're only 4,600, say, on FanDuel compared to the Seattle defense, which is 5,400, which is definitely in play at home versus the Colts. Again, I said I like the Titans defense again at Houston. New England's in play. And don't mind Tampa Bay versus the Giants. They still don't impress me. I think you could probably play one of the defenses in that Baltimore Pittsburgh game. And yeah, so remember to look for my articles on the weekends coming up this week. Got the cheat sheets coming out. Got all Sean Childs articles and write-ups. Steve Renner, myself. So get over to Scout DFS. Check it all out if you're not already a member. And hit me up with any questions. That's it for another edition of the Fuego Pit. Short but sweet. Got you some information you can use to start your research on the week. Thanks a lot, and take care.